God, thank you so much for tonight, Lord. Thank you so much for this opportunity to race online, Lord, and these racers, Lord, that are racing for an amazing opportunity, Lord, to give to this charity, Lord. Lord, I pray that these racers tonight would remember that tonight is for the Charity Cup. It's for giving to this organization and making a positive impact on this world. So, Lord, I pray that whatever anger, whatever negative emotion or unwholesome talk that may want to come up, Lord, that it would just subside and that we would honor you with our words and with our racing tonight, Lord. Lord, I pray and I thank you for the organizations that are providing the funds for this race tonight, Lord, and I just pray that it goes well. And then your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
And now, singing the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome Ben Tainai.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what
Hey,
so
make sure you practice your qualifying lap.
we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Pit road entry is hard.
Whose broad stripes
I spun 3 times,
and
but I think I
bright
finally got it.
stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Drivers, start your engine!
He served in the army. We lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my
Hey everybody, NASCAR driver Anthony Alfredo here.
Hey everybody, Brendan Gaughan here.
Larry McReynolds here with NASCAR on Fox.
All the drivers competing this year are supporting a great cause because this is racing monthly on iRacing that ultimately supports great causes.
Go out, enjoy, be safe, and have fun.
Good luck this season. Have a great time. Thanks for what you do, giving money to charity and getting a little iRacing in.
This is a great cause, a fun way to utilize the iRacing community in service to have fun competing against one another and doing good. I hope you guys enjoy racing in the Charity Cup Series. And see you on the track.
Hello and welcome to the Charity Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media as we get ready to dive into race number 1 for the start of the chase for the Charity Cup here from Chicagoland Speedway. One of NASCAR's most exciting mile-and-a-half tracks sets the stage for another night side-by-side racing, all while competing for something bigger than ourselves. And I am excited to get this started. We've been covering this for a while now, and joining me here in the booth tonight is Sam. Sam, how you feeling here tonight?
Man, Jordan, I'm super excited. You know, I've been waiting to come back and do another Charity Cup Series event. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this is going to go down.
Yeah, Chicagoland, a nice old surface, going to be abrasive, going to wear through those tires, sitting around 92 degrees on the track temp right now as these cars start to roll off of the grid here now. And we get ready to start running through that order. momentarily. As my graphics seem to be a little rough here. Dylan Chavis and TJ Elaine going to be on the front row with Adam Thompson and Curtis Mitchell in the second row. Row 3 going to be Hunter Cox and Christopher Pendle, followed by Jeff Schmeier and Jacob Manning. Row 5 going to be Jason Palmer and Tim Ruark, followed by Max Kost and Brian Bogner in row 6. Row 7 going to be Brenton Barker and Chris Rude, with row 8 being Mitchell Dolan and Alan Bergen. Justin Crittenden and Ray Massey going to be in row number 9, followed by John Gowan and Patrick Craven in row 10. Row 11 going to be Zachary Smith and John Miles, followed by the last guy on the grid in 23rd, Ricky Miles. As this pace truck gets ready to make that turn off, I think here in a moment. Nope, going to stay. There he goes. Makes that hard left turn off of the track surface, giving control to Chavez as we get ready to go green flag racing here from Chicagoland.
Chavis was not a bad pull.
And side by side down into turn 1, Chavis able to get a little bit of a advantage there. The 316 of Mitchell going to be able to tuck in right in front of TJ Elaine. These guys are already trying to find a way towards the front, find that upper groove. A couple of these guys running way high up in that third line already. You see them fanned out across that front stretch there. So they're going to be searching everywhere they can for grip tonight. And like I said at the top of the broadcast, it's going to be pretty rough surface here from Chicagoland. It's old and weathered and certainly going to wear through these tires throughout the night. And it's going to be key to try to keep those tires underneath you as we go.
Yeah, and like I like to harp on is strategy is going to be very important at this track. So not only fuel, but definitely tire wear as well. So knowing when to pit for not just fuel but tires is going to be extremely important.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely keep an eye on that throughout the race. Roughly about 58 to 60 laps on a fuel run. So these guys are certainly going to be trying to find a way to maximize their speed, but, you know, maximize their fuel savings as well. So it's only going to be a matter of time, you know, as we run through this race here, as we start to figure out who's got a good strategy and thought in mind. As now you see there Manning moving up into that third spot to the inside of Curtis Mitchell. Great Lakes Sim Racing. I was going to say Great Lakes Sim Racing is going to. Great Lakes Sim Racing, certainly a good group of guys with Elaine Manning there. Going to be ones to watch here tonight, as well as a guy who's a little bit further back in the field tonight of Ray Massey. Almost got that victory in the Charity Cup Series Goat Locker Racing All-Star race we had, but still looking to go 4 consecutive races as far as just Charity Cup drivers. So still looking to kind of move there and get to that, you know, 4th win on the season, especially with these guys going now into the chase for the Charity Cup. It's going to be 4 races and then a 3-race chase as we get going here. So he's certainly going to want to maximize those points, get himself in a good position to go after that cup. As these guys, you know, run around here in Chicago, and high on the line there is Cox.
Yeah, we got right behind him the number 77, Brenton Barker. And then behind that, you got the number 12 with Jason Palmer and Mountain Refuge Racing. And these guys, you know, you see they're trying to get spread out here because in the opening laps, you don't really want to be on top of each other, especially at a track like Chicagoland. Because if you're too aggressive early on, those tires are going to wear out. And then, you know, your truck's going to be sliding all, you know, up and down the track. And you're going to lose a lot of speed. You're going to lose a lot of time. And your strategy's just going to get all messed up. So instead of pitting on lap 50 or 60, like Jordan was saying earlier, you're going to have to end up pitting at like lap 35, 39. Just because you overwore your tires.
Yeah, you'll certainly find yourself falling backwards if you burn that stuff up, especially that right front. We always talk about that right front tire. As you wear that in and burn that off, it's just going to start plowing into the outside corner. And you know, that's that tight condition that you're going to deal with. So you got to find a way to, you know, float that rear end outward, keep the tire wear and the heat out of that right front tire. And it's a lot easier said than done. It's certainly going to be something to pay attention here to tonight.
Yeah, the trucks whose tail end you see whipping out, they're the ones that are, you know, they're gonna have to really watch what they're doing, because their tire is gonna be gone way quicker than everybody else.
Absolutely. Right now, the fastest average time is that number 2 spot truck, up 5 positions. Jacob Manning finds himself running an average of 31:34 in the last 5 laps here. So certainly a man on the move, looking for the front as we run here.
That being said, Jordan, remind me, and this is also for people who might be new to Charity Cup Series, but are these fixed setups or are these open setups that the drivers can individually, you know, pan out and change on their own?
Yeah, they run a fixed setup, everybody on the same thing. So, you know, that's one of the harder styles of racing, in my opinion. You can't rely on a setup to save you. So you're really focused in on, you know, what does this setup like more than what do you like, as we ride right here on Zachary Smith. Zachary Smith up 5 spots right now into the 17th position here. A lot of separation in front of him, but that could easily be one of those things where you're just trying to maximize your savings, and, you know, maybe you want to try to run this a little long. You know, if you save here, run long, and you know, kind of be able to short pit later on, you know, with a estimated, you know, 58 to 60 laps being able to be run, give or take, you know, on track conditions and cautions and everything like that. See some of these guys maybe trying to go long on these this first stop to maybe short pit or split that, you know, last half a lap. So certainly going to be seeing a number of different ideas. It's just which one is going to be that winning idea, and you never know what the winning idea is until the end of the race, and if you're standing in victory lane.
Yeah, that is so true, and it makes it tough to guess for us who's gonna win, because, you know, early on you have no idea, because strategies haven't played out. You know, drivers are probably still coming up with strategies in their head. You know, originally, let's pit at lap 55. You know, you get 10 laps in, it's like, okay, well, I kind of messed up and is sitting it a little bit too hard. Might have to pull it back and pit around lap 45. You know what I mean? That changes everything as well.
Absolutely. Here on board right now with Jacob Manning as he's trying to find a way to the inside of Dylan Chavis. As he looks down to the inside and going to try to get that run as he's racing here tonight for the Casey Kane Foundation. Racing for Great Lakes Sim as well. So look for him to be going after this cup. And to elaborate on that a little bit, we've got a 4-race pre-chase season series to go. It's going to be here at Chicagoland right now, and then we're going to travel all the way to Iowa, down to Atlanta, going to be the old Atlanta configuration, and make a stop in Kansas before we start the playoffs, which then will be Michigan, New Hampshire, and rounding out this season at Homestead. And it's a little different, and I'm trying to find the exact notes that I have for it, but it's going to be a team championship. So each team is able to gain points based on their finishes. As again, Jacob Manning, one of those guys in Great Lakes Sim, as well as TJ Lane, Christopher Pendle, and Justin Crittenden got a couple other teams to go over here throughout the night, as well as Great Lakes Sim actually has 2 teams with both Dylan Chavis, TJ Lane, or Dylan Chavis, Hunter Cox, and Tim Ruar. Those guys being Great Lakes Sim 2. So we take a peek back here.
See what we got going on here.
Skip around. Here's Ray Massey. Ray Massey has been the biggest mover so far, up 8 positions into 12th. And again, that's going to be the guy to look, as we got a whole lot of something going on right here at the front of the field as well. It's Dylan Chavis, TJ Lane, Adam Thompson, Jacob Manning, Christopher Pendle, all within a blanket of each other. Jeff Schmeier finding himself in this conversation too. TJ Lane way up high with Jacob Manning, Thompson right there in the middle lane. Thompson with a big run down to the inside of TJ Lane, but it kind of dies off there.
So what they're doing right now, Jordan, is that they're kind of trying to stay together in one little pack. Because if they do that, then they can easily see who's going to pit when, and that'll decide, hey, he's pulling down low. That means he's probably going to come in. I'm going to shoot down in too, so I can stay with them. Especially if you're in this front pack like they are, I would definitely be in this group trying to keep up with them, and trying to steal off of their strategy.
For sure. And as somebody like like this group here, you kind of want to keep yourself in front of them, which is going to be better said than done. As Chavis tries to find any line that he can run to kind of keep these guys behind him and kind of stick with it. As you see the 33 right there in tow. And again, these top 4 as they run right now are both a part of Great Lakes Sim 1 and Great Lakes Sim 2. Great Lakes Sim 2 is just Dylan Chavis right now, but the other 3 behind them are a part of Great Lakes Sim 1.
It's a great battle, the Great Lakes.
And the Great Lakes going at
Literally. Question is, who's Lake Erie and who's what's the other one? What's one of the other one? I can only remember Lake Erie. I'm
not a Michigan man. I didn't pay attention in that geography
Might
class.
be Lake Michigan. we can say it's Lake Superior versus Lake Michigan. We can say that. They should take that into consideration.
As these guys start to maybe try to pounce on the 6, but I mean, he's able to carry the speed down on the bottom enough, and as TJ Lane goes up and he grabs a wall, that's going to kill all that momentum he would have had there.
Yeah, front pack is going to be playing close like that, trying to break people's draft and runs, and try to throw them off so they slide up the track, slide jobs maybe here later as the runs get longer.
TJ Lane down to the inside, getting a big push from Jacob Manning right there to try to push him past. As he's going to take that bottom line now, going to move Chavis off of that bottom line. Try to pull a slide job. Does he have enough room? He's going to have enough room. He's going to get it. So as TJ takes over the race lane. As TJ Lane takes over the race lead here.
Jacob Manning was looking on the bottom.
Christopher Pendle got into the wall there as they went to go into the corner. TJ Lane, big move. Going to have to take evasive action there for Chavis. He's going to kill all that momentum, and now he's going to fall all the way back to about 6th or 7th here. 7th now, right behind Mitchell.
Yeah, he may have had a little bit of a slide, but he caught it, and he's going to be able to catch back up soon because he's got a really good run, and it looks like the 62 lost all of his momentum as well. Don't know what happened there, but don't take Chavis out of the race just yet.
Absolutely not. Dylan Chavis, certainly one of the strong racers here as well. He is one of those racers racing for the Dale Jr. Foundation here. So he's riding around in the Ride the Dente truck here for the night. There to the inside of Adam Thompson. As my mouse blended in with my paperwork, I couldn't find where I was. I kind of hate that. As Adam Thompson right there in front of Chavis. He's one of those drivers straight out of the great state of Maryland, racing for St. Jude's, part of the Leftover Motorsports team. And I misspoke looking here at the paperwork. Adam Thompson is not on the Leftovers Motorsports. He is actually on the Unique Motorsports with Jason Palmer. As Jason Palmer currently sitting in the 11th place position here. As, whoa, a little bit of a move there. A little slideways for Christopher Pendle just up in front of these guys.
That 94 truck.
That 94 truck.
Yeah, and these tracks are built like this. What I was going to say earlier, Jordan, is that if you're racing here tonight, I would honestly take any info that you can and put it towards Iowa and the old Atlanta configuration that we got coming up. So that's going to be really important for trying to come up with race strategies for, oh wow, little big slide for us, the number 6 at Chavis. But like I was saying, it'd be important to take whatever information you can. Let's be like, hey, this didn't work, so let's try this at Iowa. Go to Iowa. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try this at Atlanta. It might, just might, come out in your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it would work for old Atlanta simply because, old Atlanta going to have that rougher surface. It's not like the configuration that we have now where it's more of a super speedway, but with a little, how we run New Atlanta it's kind of a super speedway, but you still have some kind of off throttle time in the corners here and there as you get into a run. So
Michigan,
with it being with an old Atlanta, you're going to have that, rougher, old worn out surface, just like we have here at Chicagoland, which it's kind of funny because I doing my research for Chicagoland just to kind of pick up things. I was looking at it and I was like, Chicagoland's not concrete, is it? Like, that's how long this asphalt has been on this track. It's kind of turned into almost a whiter asphalt, and it just kind of looks like concrete for a second. So threw me off for a little bit of a loop here as we right here with Chris Rude running in the 14th position. He is racing for, and I can't find, there we go. He's racing for a walking and rolling costumes, one that we point out fairly often as one of my favorites to look at here. Building the costumes for those who are using wheelchairs and walking assisted walkers, and they make some pretty daggone awesome costumes. So one of the favorites of mine here, as he is racing with Ray Massey as well. Ray Massey racing the same walking and rolling costumes paint scheme as well. So two of those guys regulars here in this series. So look for them to be pretty good as they're part of Milk Dud Motorsports with Jacob Link, Max Cost as well.
Look as Chris Rude is, kind of leading the next pack, because I kind of see here, which you guys aren't able to see. You can kind of get a good idea if you're looking at the timing on the ticker, but everybody's kind of got this. They're kind of spread out. There's like 3 packs that I can kind of see right now. You got this 3rd pack, and then you got a 4th pack right behind them. The front pack is kind of on its own, a few cars or trucks, I should say. But that 2nd pack has a bunch of trucks a part of it. It's really, really, tight knit but spread out at the same time. If you're in a pack, you've got all the trucks right there, and there'll be several seconds, like maybe I think 15 to 10 seconds ahead is that next pack, and so on and so forth. So I thought that's really interesting how they're spread out today.
Yeah, I think that really shows you, just a general visualization of, who's found the most speed out of the setup that they're running, with having that first group, second group, and then kind of breaking up into these, smaller groups as we go. It just shows you who's really got this setup down to a T to where they can find the most speed and carry the most speed through the corners.
Well, if you look, the people in the first group, as we have some of these flyby cameras, you'll see them in the turn midway through. They're kind of, throwing the rear ends a little bit. So the middle group is not really doing that, or the second group, I should say, they're not really doing that. So when it comes time for, later in the runs, I feel like maybe the second to third group might catch up to the first a lot faster.
Yeah, as we start to get close to that pit window, just over halfway towards it as we approach that lap 50. I want to say 55 to 60 because I definitely think we could see people jump into that, early pit section without a doubt.
Got a good look at TJ Lane, trying to do a little bit of a battle with Curtis Mitchell. And right in front of Curtis, you got the number 50. That's Jacob Manning, who's currently in first. So that's your top 3 right there.
Yeah, as we, this was our qualifying results as Dylan Chavez is going to be going for the Great Lakes Sim Pole Challenge If he can pull off the win here tonight, it'll be 25 bucks to him or his charity. I believe it's to the charity. I always get a little flip-flopped on some of that, but for him, it should, I believe it goes to the charity. That's the one thing that my notes do not have. Apologies for that. But if he does not win here tonight, that $25 will be rolled into a pool essentially and will be moved to the following week, where that poll winner of the next race will get a chance to go for $50. So get to watch that stack up and see who can claim that poll challenge. It's a really interesting thing. I know back in the day when I used to be in the bowling, we'd have a pot for the same kind of thing, but it was kind of off the side. We'd play cards, and if somebody could pull a certain card, because you get a card for each strike, if you could pull a certain card that week, you would win the pool. And then if no one got that specific card, we'd roll it over next week. So a good addition here to the Chase for the Charity Cup as well.
Really quick, Jordan, TJ Lane. Well, first of all, Chris Mitchell has pulled up into the front. Jacob Banning fell back one spot back in the second, and then TJ Lane coming to finish kind of bounced off the wall and lost a couple of good spots. Now he's back down to 6th place. That lets Ray Massey, Dylan Chavis, and Jess Schmeier come up in front of him.
Yes.
A lot of interesting stuff that just happened right there.
Yes, speaking of that, while looking there at TJ Lane, I have to point out that I did not realize how far up the board that the 23 of Ray Massey has moved. He's up now 15 positions, finds himself now here in the 5th place spot, and certainly, again, as I've said, one to continuously watch here as we run. He finds himself, in a spot to continuously try to pull off these wins. And like I said, had 3 in a row before the All-Star. Then we had the All-Star with Goat Locker Racing, and now looking to go for his 4th win in the Charity Cup Series. Again, this is just now, though, the start for the Chase of the Cup, but we've had our previous monthly races, and the last 3 of those have been Ray Massey, as he is certainly one of the masters at, just figuring out the truck throughout a race, as well as finding just the right strategy as we go.
Brenton Parker, number 77, Chris Rude in the 32 truck. Yeah, everybody's probably thinking about their pit strategies. They're probably adjusting, how much fuel they want in, adjusting, or probably not right now on this pit stop. They probably are. Everybody's selecting, hey, let's go 4 tires change.
I was going to point out here now that we've got Adam Thompson and Mitchell Dahlen both down here on pit road. Thompson, lap 40, a little earlier than I expected, but maybe didn't like what he had going, decided to flip the script and change up his mind here. As Adam Thompson fires off a pit road here now to re-merge back onto the racing surface. Going to be a lap down here now, as it looks like Mitchell Dahlen's down there for an extended stay. Not sure if maybe he got into something. Curtis Mitchell here in the 316 racing tonight for the for Project Hope Foundation. The big dog, the owner of the league. Want to give him a shout out for this league, as again, we all come together here for racing and putting on for a good cause for each charity that each driver picks and chooses to represent. As we'll continue to go through those as we get deeper into this race, try to hit everybody that we can. As Curtis Mitchell in the race lead here, going to put Alan Bergen, our very own Alan Bergen, down a lap.
Yeah, he tries. He does try. So at least he gets out there. And I remember we had a little celebration at some point because he actually finished the race, because he always gets caught up in something that's usually not his fault. So we had a little bit of a private celebration there.
Yeah, now on pit road, Brenton Barker and Patrick Craven. So I guess a little bit early of pit stops than we'd expect, as Curtis Mitchell, Dylan Chavez going to be coming down pit road now too. Is Jacob Manning going to take over the race lead here?
Hey, we can't always get it 100% right. So, you know, they're the ones on track right now racing each other. So, if it's empty track with no runs or drafts, maybe it would have been, you know, our guesses would be right on. But since they're
Yeah,
racing each other and obviously bumping and banging and people are sliding like crazy, I would assume it's probably way earlier.
I mean, that's why I'm up here in the booth. I don't really know what's going on as far as a race car driver, but I can sure as you know what, call it. So these guys all starting to make these pit stops and set themselves up. As Jeff Schmeier sitting here in the P2 spot. As he's being tracked down by that 23 machine of Ray Massey right there in tow. And this will definitely show you where strategies can be a little different. As now Massey going to try to get on pit road, but coming in a little hot. Gonna have gonna have to keep an eye on that. Make sure he didn't get in there too hot. I don't see
it's
if
looking like
90. Oh, the 90 and 14 collide as they get on pit road. So some extracurriculars going for Hunter Cox and John Gowan here as they get down the pit road speed.
Hey, it's probably what I was saying earlier. People are watching to see who's going to pit, and they probably saw him pit. Weren't planning on pitting in that lap, but they're like, might as well. Because if we don't, we're probably going to lose out massively. So, last-minute things happening, flying down onto the low end.
It looks as though, I'm not sure what it's for, but John Gowan getting a black flag. I don't know if that would be unsafe pit entry or what, but he's going to have a black flag for that.
Well, I did see Gowan when he entered into the pit lane. He was on the other side, on the non-pit side, technically, of that cone coming into the pits. So that would be the outside cone.
Yeah, Chavez get more trouble getting on
another
pit road.
one.
Thompson, and then as well as Bogner. Bogner having a little bit of a slide there. Is now, I want to say that should be just about everyone except for Tim Ruark and Ricky Miles. But that was a little sketchy there. So we'll take a peek here at as now everybody's down. Tim Ruark coming down, so Ricky Miles should be the only guy to have yet made a stop here tonight. Ricky Miles racing for the SPCA International, as well as it. Oh no, that was something else. Part of DARE, the Dirty Air Racing Experience admin. But racing here for the SPCA International here, is it? Looks like he might be coming in right now. He's going to be the guy to finish out our rounds of pit stops. Right now, Adam Thompson.
He caught it. He's good.
Yeah, as Adam Thompson going to take over the race lead with Mitchell in tow there. And now, as we watched Ricky Miles make his stop here, I noticed that cone that you were talking about.
Overshot.
But I noticed that second cone that was there on the pit stall side of pit road. I never noticed that before. So.
Well, I only noticed it because I saw, who was it? Was it the number 14, John Gowan? I did notice when him and that other truck came together.
Yeah, him.
He got pushed right before, literally got pushed on the outside of it. So I was like, wow, I didn't know that was a thing. And also, if you look when the camera angle when Ricky Miles was coming in, that's a really aggressive left-hander to get into the pit lane. So no wonder they're spinning. See how aggressive that is?
Yeah, certainly showing its ugly head here early. Is, if these guys do decide to go deeper into a run than that 40-ish, 45-ish, lap run, that's going to be even scarier. These guys are going to be on older stuff if they push it. So it's going to be definitely something to watch. Maybe see some of these guys take a little bit more of a conservative approach later on. As that, I know for me, that first pit stop is always one of those, you can practice it as much as you want, but when you've got the adrenaline running and you're trying to make that stop, you find yourself overshooting it. So, Yeah, especially green flag. I mean, I say I'm going to practice it, and then I do it for like 2 or 3 times in a race or
Yeah, for
in
real.
a practice before the race, and I'm like, I think I got it. And then that first one that I have while under green flag, I overcook it every time. Because now just about everybody has come down and done 4 tires. I see a couple names down there that have done repairs, probably 4 tires on top of that. Brian Bogner, our guy
Gowan's
right,
definitely going to have repairs.
yeah, Brian Bogner, our guy, the biggest faller there from that is he nosed into the wall. They do get 1 fast repair, so maybe see some of these guys use that fast repair. As now Chavez is trying to run that outside line. Bergen right there, going to look to possibly was going to go over top of him. Bergen just trying to stay high and stay out of the way as these guys mix and match around him. Good job there by Allen. That's a fast group coming.
Yeah, some that are going like 3 wide in the turn, I think, or at least they wanted to. Absolutely insane stuff. It's like number 32 truck. I swear they went 3 wide almost in turn 1.
Yeah, certainly pushing it, trying to get track position. Track position certainly is looking like it's going to be a big key. I mean, we saw Chavez when he lost that lead and kind of lost the momentum. It took a while for him to get back to that pack and then find a way to maybe pick up 1 or 2 spots. So it's going to be a tricky night for all these guys. As Curtis Mitchell, a little slide up there towards the 44 of Tim Ruark.
He's under threat. He's under threat.
But Ruark currently scored
3 wide.
As we're 3 wide. Thompson or Manning, my apologies. Manning going to split the 2 and take over the race lead from Mitchell.
I don't know if you caught it, but Manning had a super big twitch right there when they were in perfectly 3 wide. He had a huge twitch, somehow caught it, and now he's ahead of everybody. No idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good driving for Manning right there, 'cause that truck was going around.
Ruark and Manning showing the positive side of having a teammate. You know, even if it's not for position, having a teammate in your area and using him to put yourself past the race or the second place car. I said race leader earlier. Second place car of Curtis Mitchell. The race leader currently Adam Thompson. As now the 50 looks to make a run there. Is now Ray Massey currently sitting here in the 3rd place spot, 17 positions north from that 20th starting spot. As he goes down to the inside, looking to take P2 from Manning. I keep wanting to say Thompson because I'm looking at Thompson's truck. But those 2 looking to take over the race lead from Thompson.
Oh, Massey just cuts off the 6 of Dylan Chavis. He's really holding that inside line well. That's only because everybody just pitted. So that inside line is going to have a lot more grip with these fresher tires. If this was way later in the run, this would not be working out like that.
Manning down to the inside here to Thompson. Again, Thompson on 8-lap older tires than Manning. But Massey making it a struggle there for Manning as Massey's trying to put all the pressure there as he can.
Got a fighter jet formation style racing here is what my friend was calling it the other day.
Thompson way up high, almost grabbing the wall as Massey and Manning are pushing each other forward.
Massey is not letting Manning get away.
Massey went wall to apron. As now a caution flies.
Caution's out. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
So take a quick peek and look. It looks like 2 names popping, Hunter Cox and Chris Rude. See if we can get a look at what happened to those 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cox got a little bit of the outside wall, gets turned by Brenton Barker, up back into traffic, and Chris Rude nowhere to go.
What's that, the 20? It's the 32.
Yeah, Chris Rude and Hunter Cox. So Hunter Cox got a little bit into the wall and then got turned by the 77, and then he just comes flying up, almost collects.
He had nowhere to go.
Almost collects. I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to look. I want to say that's the 12, maybe. and then just gets annihilated by the 90. The 90 becomes a torpedo to the front nose of the 32 there.
Yeah, Chris Rude had literally nowhere to go.
Yeah, the 23 just narrowly getting by there.
Like I was saying, or I was trying to say earlier, Jordan, I didn't say it, but I will say it now. The reason why nobody's using those fast repairs on those little incidents, like what happened in the pit lane with the little spins, is for stuff like this. This would be a great time to use a fast repair. You really have no choice, honestly.
I was like, I don't think you really have a choice there. Oh, I didn't see that there. The 30. The 30 of Crittenden got the 32 there at the end. So 3 trucks getting pretty bad damage there. As we're going to step away for just a moment while they sort this all out. You're watching the Charity Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Back here at the Charity Cup Series at Chicagoland as Ray Massey, race leader, takes the field down towards turn 1 as Jacob Manning following in tow here. And again, Ray Massey, as I said, the guy to watch here each and every week that we do this, is he finds speed and finds a way and hunts to the front. But Jacob Manning certainly showing he's not going to go away, and Curtis Mitchell as well here, keeping in tow and certainly proving he's not going to go away. And Chavis just there in the wake of these guys. So certainly a ton of guys here that could certainly find a way to mix and match here. Had a couple of guys take pit stops here. Max Cost and Brenton Barker, TJ Lane and Christopher Pendle, all those guys came down. TJ Lane came down for just fuel, so he's probably going to look to maybe run this a little long, as we're 65 laps into this thing. And I almost showed how bad at math I am, because I almost said halfway, but we still got 10 laps till we hit that halfway mark of 75 laps.
You got Ray Massey and then Jacob Manning. They are ridiculously fast, along with Curtis Mitchell. I want to point that out because they are starting to low-key pull away from that group, starting from 5th back, and make their own little leaders group.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen that happen, at the start here, where that group just kind of ran away. But as we were going through the field, we started to notice that, the top 3 turned into the top 5 altogether, and then the top 5 turned into the top 7 or 8. So everybody, once they hit kind of an equalizing part of the race, they all kind of somehow find themselves all bunched back up. And then we see those green flag mayhem pit stops that we saw. And I don't think we're done with the mayhem by any means whatsoever, as these guys are certainly showing how much you add points to a series, how much these guys really start to push just that extra little bit. And that's just the natural competitive nature in our brain, that as soon as you start adding you throw a championship into it, the excitement and the energy just ramps up as this comes to a start here.
Chris Pendel putting a little bit of a challenge to Curtis Mitchell. They get a little close there, almost made a little bit of contact. Nothing crazy, but Chris Pendel's like, hey, I'm right here. I'm right to the left of you. Like, I'm not gonna just get pushed over.
Yeah, Mitchell had a little bit of a bobble there, but able to still stay right there to the outside of the 94 of Pendle.
These two are still battling in the turn. I think Pendel might just be able to squeeze. He's just going to slide right up in front of Curtis Mitchell there. A little bit of a slight job. And he's going to be pushing on the back of Jacob Manning. He's right there on the rear bumper of Jacob Manning. Going to make a move to the inside.
Yeah, as Christopher Pendle going to go into the P2 spot. Christopher Pendle racing here for Autism Speaks. He's a proud father of 2 boys, and his oldest, Trenton, being one to be diagnosed with autism. So racing for Autism Speaks here, and love to, I just love reading all these stories and learning of all these different charities that we can support. So I want to thank him for running here tonight, as he's one of those regulars that continues to run here, as he's now in the race lead.
I don't know if these 3 backed off and then Pendel has just been pushing this whole time, or if he genuinely does just have that kind of crazy speed that they don't have. But it feels like his truck, he's going a little too fast. You know what I mean, Jordan? It feels like he might just be wearing those tires out.
I mean, I also think that, with Pendle getting there and Tom Manning able to take over Massey, those two being on Great Lakes Sim 1 together, found a way to get him to the front, and now the 2 of them sit 1 and 2 here. So those 2 could certainly find a way to kind of pull themselves away from everybody as well. So a little bit of teammate action going here.
It's very interesting to see this play out in real time as well. I want to point out, it's not too far back behind this top 4. Got number 19. Who's kind of like, or no, somebody sitting in 19th, who's several laps down or a lap down, who's just kind of sitting in with the people who are on the lead lap currently.
Yeah,
trying to figure out who that is.
I believe it is Brian Bogner, who had that incident on pit road, which is normally one of those guys that's up here in the front running as well. So rough start of the night here for him, as he sits currently down 2 laps. Certainly going to need some caution help to get those laps back and get himself back on track. Certainly a fast truck here throughout the series. So look for him to, if he can find a way to get those 2 laps, maybe get back here. Chavez here in the 6th spot, the 6th truck in 6th spot here, just in front of TJ Lane. TJ Lane, that guy that took just fuel only. And he's just, I can certainly tell you, he's not going to push the issue. TJ Lane, one of those guys, came ever so close to getting the win at the All-Star race. Just kind of ran out of tire there, and I mean, just magically found his way up front. I want to say that there was a late race caution that put him actually right into it. Took 2 tires and just quite didn't have enough to get to the race win. So certainly probably not going to push the issue here. Try to run this out a little longer with that fuel run. Try to catch these guys by surprise. If we just hit the halfway point, 75 laps down, working 76 now.
Sorry about that. I've returned. Yeah, my headphones kind of disconnected for some reason, so I was trying to figure out what was going on. So, no idea what you said, as I think they just disconnected again. So, I will be right back as I try to figure out some technical difficulties.
As Ray Massey sitting here in the P3 spot right now, just kind of losing a little bit of ground, maybe trying to be a little more conservative here as Manning and Pendle decide to push the envelope and try to get that gain that they can. And I certainly think that it can help them in the long run, as you know, the more that they can space themselves out. Oh, big hit to the wall by Mitchell. That's going to allow the lapped car of Bogner to get down and inside. Take a spot there from him. Not a spot as far as on the pylon, but a spot on the racing surface.
Well, that also could be a help too, because if Bogner has a good bit of speed, then that could help Curtis catch up to, whoever's in front of him. And if Bogner tries to challenge, whoever's in front of Curtis, then it looks like he just smacks the outside wall there. But as I was saying, them two catch up. Lap car tries to pass and fight, and that could lead Curtis to kind of sneak past whoever he's trying to pass. It looks like Ray Massey is in front of him.
Yeah, Massey's got a little bit of a gap to him, but Massey certainly not going to overpush his equipment. Again, one of those guys that just knows how to run. Chavis way up high, running that high line, that Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell line.
Whoa. Chavis got a little loose there up top.
Yeah.
He caught it, came back down immediately. I don't know if he caught that, but he came straight back down.
That's one of those big problems. You can carry so much momentum on that outside line. You can carry all of it down these front and back stretch, but you're just right there on the edge of wall contact. I mean, you see it. I'm more of a asphalt racing guy, but I love me some dirt racing. You see a little bit of a slide there, but it's very similar to a dirt cushion that you see at the World of Outlaws or the High Limit Series. Even when they have the Chili Bowl and Tulsa Shootout, that builds up that little bit of a lip there, the cushion, and it's almost like the air between you and the wall becomes kind of a buffer. And once you kind of break that buffer, that's when you find yourselves into the wall. As we take a peek here now at Max Cost.
My favorite thing to do at Michigan. Just ride that high line.
Max Cost here, racing for Milk Dud Motorsports, part of that team. Also running the Walking and Rolling Costumes paint scheme here in the black opposite of Chris Rude and Ray Massey, who are in those gray cars. Max Cost, home to one of the first leagues that I raced in this great, amazing simulator of iRacing, part of the below the Double Yellow Racing League. As now here you see the 20, I believe that's the 20 of Craven on the outside of Ruark, trying to take a spot away to get into the top 10. But Ruark doing a really good job of driving up off the corner to block off that high line. It's going to push Craven to probably try to look to the inside on a crossover, but we've seen that crossover not really work a ton. And it seems like that trailing car just has all that dirty air, and it just, look at the gap that, Ruark is just able to make on the straightaway. Just probably off a little bit of a dirty air, really upsetting the car. Not necessarily a loose condition, but just kind of makes it hard to carry the momentum. It doesn't draft as well as, you would see at a Daytona or a Talladega or Atlanta. It's not quite the same kind of draft. It certainly helps, but it almost kind of stalls the truck out. As Ruark with a slap to the wall. So we're here at 85 laps out of 150. Current leader still Christopher Pendle after getting by Jacob Manning. 6 lead changes and only 1 caution here tonight so far, is now getting real tight here.
One of those is a lap car, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, the 30 of Justin Crittenden giving a little push there to his teammate, Ruark. A big turn four. That turn four wall certainly showing a struggle for some of these guys as they come off that corner. So giving a little bit of a slap there. TJ Lane going to get position from Chavez.
They pitted on like lap what would you say at the
They
average
were
pit
they
lap
were
last
roughly
was?
between
43-ish?
They were roughly between 45 and 48. So certainly, I mean, these guys, you know, are getting close to that 88. So that would be 44 laps. So certainly could see some guys come down again. You see right here on the right side of your screen the last time that they all came down. Or laps since they came down, and my apologies. So, you know, Christopher Pendle came down lap 61, so he's going to have quite a while before he decides to come out. But some of these guys are going to start getting close to that 44-ish lap interval.
Well,
TJ Lane came down for just fuel, so he's got an extra 25. Got an extra 25 laps on those tires than these other guys, but still sitting strong here in that 6th place position. So I would not be surprised if the next time TJ Lane hits pit road, he may just be right side tires and fuel and go, because he's one to definitely go for a Hail Mary and throw everything at the wall for his sake. Is now Pendle has a 3.5+ gap to Manning here, so this could be one of those things where he just runs this as hard as he can, as long as he can. And, you know, you come down and make a stop with these guys or just a few laps after these guys. I know you're burning up a set of tires, but you should be able to keep that gap per se. So it's going to be interesting to see what his call is here. He sits a good ways ahead of teammate Manning.
Yeah, he's way up in front. Yeah, second is TJ Manning, and followed by Ray Massey, and then by Ray Massey.
And just as we were speaking of pit
Mitchell.
stops, here comes Chavez. Chavez going to bring it down pit road. No action from that pull in. Is Adam Thompson going to be another guy to come down?
Ooh.
A little bit of a bobble there.
Slide. Who else is looking?
Definitely going to be one of those things that's going to trigger a lot of these guys to make their stops. You know, once you see one make a stop, you start thinking in your head, I should probably come down.
Here comes Curtis. And number 316. No drama coming in. I don't know. I think it was the Liam Jordan, but there was a race somewhere, and literally every single person who pitted ended up spinning. It was crazy. I think it was, I was commentating with Liam.
Maybe. I'm not 100% on that, but it would not surprise me, especially with how rough this track. I mean, this track alone can certainly be a case for that. As Mitchell Dolan makes a stop in his box. Patrick Craven right there behind him, going to fire off here. So if our mathematics are correct, a lot of these guys are going to have to make another stop. So it's going to be a 3-stopper. Except for maybe Christopher Pendle here. He might be able to push it with just, I mean, it would be a 3-stopper for him still, but it would only be 2 under green for him if he can get this all the way to, say, about 110.
So able to change my personal track map. So now instead of seeing position numbers, now I got car numbers, see who's doing what where on the track. And I'll take that track or that car number and then look at what position they're on the standings on the ticker.
Yeah, TJ Lane here in the number 33 machine. Take a peek here. He as well is one of those racing for the Casey Kane Foundation. As can you take a guess if he's part of Great Lakes Sim, where he's from? I can't say great state because, you know, the great state is Maryland, but the second best M state of Michigan. So as he rides along here in the 5th place position right now as he gets up and by Zachary Smith. Zachary Smith currently up 16 spots from where he started the night. Hasn't been down pit road since lap 47.
Hey, he's pushing it pretty hard, not gonna lie. That's pretty far.
Yeah, still within a good, reasonable distance, but definitely some of these guys going to be starting to take some different action. Is Ray Massey going to make his stop here? So like I said earlier, you know, these guys got that first pit stop. Zachary Smith going to make his stop now. These guys got that first stop in and now find themselves able to get to pit road a little more cleanly. Haven't seen the big chaos that we did in that first round. A couple guys going around, a couple guys on the brakes hard, trying to meet pit road speed. Is Massey going to get a full fuel and fire off there as Christopher Pendle still out in the lead by 3.8 seconds. Jason Palmer here in the number 12.
Whoa. Working down low there, Palmer.
Yeah, Jason Palmer racing, part of Unique Motorsports and running for the Border Patrol Foundation. I just saw the South Park characters there on the bottom quarter panel.
That's what I was laughing at way earlier. That caught it, but you were busy saying important things, so I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, those South Park characters.
Really
those
fast.
South Park characters were very close to being casualties to the front bumper of Hunter Cox. As now Manning and Gallen going to make stops here. So, I mean, we're going to see some of these guys really start to push as Ruark and the 69 of Miles, John Miles, making their stops. So, could now be where we see these guys really hit that fuel savings and try to push this thing as far as they can. John Miles here in the 69 machine racing for
that was a really
SPCA,
good stop.
Yeah, for SPCA International. So he's going to fire off here. TJ Lane, like we said, going to kind of hang out here, and it's kind of showing itself up here right now. The top 4 guys right now were last down pit road on lap 61, which would have been our caution. So those guys came down lap 61 at the caution and going to run this thing for sure a little bit longer. I want to say they'll probably get to about 105. I'd say 105 to 110, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A lot of strategy happening right now. Everybody's spread out. Everybody trying to get back on the lead lap. Yeah. Trying to reestablish where they were at before.
Pendle's race lead right now over TJ Lane, about 10.8, 10.7 seconds. So these guys are certainly spread out. Another 5 seconds back from Elaine would be Jason Palmer, and another 4 seconds behind him would be Max Kost. So a lot of these guys really spread out, but you know, the guys that just made their stops, they can certainly probably start to push these things and try to run down that top 4, get that lap back, try to get, you know, the better track position. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, these guys that are going to have to possibly make another stop versus the guys who should be good to go when they do make their stop. So,
well, Pendle, Elaine, Palmer, and Koss all pitted on like lap 61 with Koss being 62. If I'm seeing that right.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Is those guys could probably make it to about 105, 110. That would put, you know, 45 laps would be 105 for some of these guys, 106. So if they can get a little bit out of it, get to 110 and get to about a 40-lap run, maybe 40 laps to go, fresh tires, fresh everything. And some of these guys that pitted at 97, 95, they're more than likely going to have to stop or take it easy to save the fuel. So it's gonna be save the fuel or save the tires, one of the two. I haven't seen anybody really go past that 45 to 46 lap run.
Yeah. At max cost, looks like his cost and that number 20 truck, Patrick Craven there.
Patrick Craven, the last guy on the lead lap right now. I believe, no, he would be first guy lap down, maybe. I'm trying to look.
Tim Bruark is.
Yeah, right here now. Jason Palmer on the front row. He is, I believe, the last car on the lead lap. Oh, you're right, Tim Rourke. I see it now.
Yeah.
Stat line as now comes down Brenton Barker. Going to make his stop here.
Second set of people coming in. What a unique camera angle this is for, the pit lane. I really like this, actually. Most of the pit lane cams for other tracks are, they're okay, but this one's very interesting. You really get to see who all's running what on their trucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Brenton Barker, one of the guys racing for Full Blast Racing, along with Curtis Mitchell, Brian Bogner, and Patrick Craven. As Brenton Barker, he's also racing for the Project Hope Foundation, matching paint schemes there with Curtis Mitchell. As you see now, he's going to re-merge back up into the 19th position here. As TJ Lane still got about a 10.8 to almost 11-second gap to the race leader. As he's just out here trying to find the speed. As he's sitting at about a 33.0 that last time around. Taking a peek here at Jacob Manning and Curtis Mitchell. 31.44 for Manning and a 32.13 for Mitchell. So those guys about almost a second to a second and a half faster than Elaine and the race leader.
You can see that Elaine eventually needs to pit because Alan just passed the. So when Alan's past you, that means it's almost time to pit.
Don't do that to Alan.
I love Alan to death.
The iceberg.
Just a little jokes. Just a little.
The jokes. Iceberg Bergen. Call him the iceberg because his racing streak is cold.
Yikes.
As Christopher Pendle, he's going to make the move to come down pit road now. As he's going to be the first of that final four to make their stops here, which at 108, you could
Pendle's.
You figure 61 to now is a 47 lap run. So
I think Palmer will be next to come in.
Yeah. Pendle, Elaine, Cost, those guys all coming down now. So these guys that are pitting right now should absolutely 100% be good to go to the finish. The question is, does Mitchell, who was down lap 90, Manning and Massey, who are down lap 97 and 95, do those guys have enough to make it to the end, which would be a 60-lap run, which would be the longest run we've seen anybody run tonight? And if they do they have the speed for somebody that's going to have roughly about 20-lap fresher stuff than they do?
It's a good question, especially with the track, how it is. Also, when do you think Palmer is going to come in? Because I thought he would come in right now, but he's shot.
I would assume the next time around Palmer would be down. But you look up at this the pit stop info.
Let's see if he comes in right now.
Yep, here he comes. Sometimes I'm so good it's scary. No, I was kidding. You see right here now 19 laps and 20 laps for Curtis Mitchell and Chavez, and then 12, 14, and 11 for Schmeier, Massey, and Manning. So those guys, 12 lap older stuff than Pendle, and Pendle is currently sitting in the 7th place position, soon to be 6th once he gets up and around Jason Palmer. So that number 94 machine is going to have a lot of tire compared to the others. It's just, does he, be a little conservative and hope these guys have to make that stop, or do you push and, try to put it out of your mind and just get out in front of it? That's one of the things that's hard about a strategy is what do you choose? It's hard to pick, because if you lay back and these guys can make it, then you just laid back and didn't give what your truck had. But if you push it and they can't, when they come back out for say the last 10 to 15 laps, they're gonna be able to get by you pretty quickly. So I mean, going to be in a little bit of a position here as we're right here with Adam Thompson. He has the 77 of Brenton Barker, who was just recently down pit road, go by him. So everybody really spread out and kind of mixed and matched with trucks that are racing for position and trucks that are just racing to get back to the race lead.
Yeah, about lap 30-ish is where I think things will start to get really shaken up. Because, you know, like you were saying, people are in the longer runs, and then, you know, you got other people who are like on 20 lap stretcher tires. So I think about 130 is when things will really start to get interesting between the ones who put it on like, you know, lap 90 something, and then the ones who put on like 110-ish.
It's going to be interesting because, I mean, Pendle's still sitting in that P6 spot, but he is just a little off of the back bumper of Jeff Schmeier as we run right now, taking a peek at the scoring. As currently your current race leader, Curtis Mitchell, up 2 spots from his 3rd place starting spot. Jacob
Only
Manning
one
right
caution.
there. Yeah, Jacob Manning right there in tow, just about 0.3 of a second off. You see right there to the outside Palmer, who just made a pit stop a couple of laps ago, going around the outside to get his lap back. But if you look at Curtis Mitchell down to that Christopher Pendle, still about a 7.5 second gap to the race lead for Pendle. So one of those things that you just have to keep an eye on to watch that ticker. It's down now to a 7-second lead. So Pendle's certainly on a move as he ran a 31.76 that last time around. Our race leader, 32.89, so a second faster than the race lead. So I think he's going to get there because he's already almost down to 6 seconds, so he's definitely going to get there. But it's going to be when these guys make a stop and come back out, will they have enough time to essentially rerun him down?
I honestly don't believe so.
Big slide by Chavez. Chavez down to the apron. I thought that was going to be a little bit worse there. My heart rate shot through the roof.
I knew he'd be fine. It's just really dramatic because I saw him go super sideways. I was like, huh, wonder where he's going.
It's one of those things you really can't help. It just makes you want to, the little blood vessel in your brain just pop a little and get all excited because you just see a truck sideways. But I mean, that turn 4 has certainly been troublesome for these guys. Is, you know, we've seen a number of them come off of turn 4 trying to get all that they can get and find themselves sideways. Is right now we're here with Tim Ruark sitting in the last place, or last spot in the top 10 in 10th. Not last place, I apologize, Tim.
See what we got here. I feel like the 44 wants to slide behind the 30, but at the same time he does it because it's like, could follow and we could try to pull ahead, but as well, I don't want to lose too much momentum of my own, you know, from the 44's perspective. So he's trying to think, he's like, should I follow him? Should I help him? Or should I just do my own thing? You know, it's just one of those strategy thoughts, you know, when it comes with teamwork.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they are both racing for Great Lakes Sim, but Crittenden on Great Lakes Sim 1 and Ruark on Great Lakes Sim 2. So it's like they're teammates, but they're not. So do you want to hold them up for your other teammates? The team within the team is Chris Rude.
32.
Getting a little action there. He's kind of just tucked in and kind of almost boxed in right now. Big
here we go. Here we go.
Smack to the wall as he goes down to the apron now.
Good catch.
Little tight off corner exit there. As we
here we go. Truck sideways.
20 is sideways.
20 sideways. He catches
it. Almost a complete game changer for people like Christopher Pendle, who is moved up to 3rd now. That would have been the absolute worst thing for him to have seen with the strategy that he is running. So everybody needs to take a deep breath and Get this back
Like-
underway.
Jordan, like I said, the very first Charity Cup Series little thing that we commentated together, I told you that these drivers are all very good drivers too. These aren't just anyone out here. So
Absolutely.
that definitely demonstrated it. Like we've seen several times, but if there's anything that demonstrates how good the whole field is, it's that right there.
Oh, absolutely. Up front and center right there just show just the talent that's within this group of Charity Cup Series drivers. And they certainly are able to push the envelope and try. Oh, the 20 hard into the wall there. Again,
Smacks the
Patrick
wall again.
Craven. Not entirely sure what happened there. It looked like that thing just, it almost looked like, little bobble there.
Something's wrong with that truck then. Something's got to be wrong with that truck.
Yeah, I mean, the way it looked, it almost looked as how it would look if you blew a right front tire.
I think the rear suspension might be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not a toe link like we have in the cup car.
Yeah.
But certainly that little bit of a slide there that he had, he ate up something, because I mean, he's also been out here since lap number 90. So he's certainly creeping in on about 42, 45 laps on these tires. So
this is about lap 123 as well. So it's coming close to that 130 mark I was talking about.
This is the sad thing for me is it switches us over to 27 laps to go, and I start doing the mental math of 27, 150 minus.
Well,
so 20...
I've got it both, so I can see both. I see how many laps to go and what lap we're on simultaneously. So
yeah, I always forget that we have the live timing that literally tells us the lap that each driver is on and where on the track. You can give it. Yeah, you can lead a horse. You know what they say: you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can give me the timing data, and I still can't read. As caution flies. That is going.
Could you even read to begin with, Jordan?
No, I could not. Caution flies just as Christopher Pendle gets to the race lead in what was a strategy that was certainly going to be amazing for him, as we
see what happened here
right now with Palmer and the 14 machine.
Turn 4 exit coming to the flag.
It's not sure. Yeah, it's not showing us any record of crashed cars, so kind of have to do our own investigating here. Chris Root in the wall there.
Root again.
That wouldn't be worthy of a caution.
You never know with iRacing. Yeah, it's a great sim, but it's not perfect. You know what I mean? I've seen if there are cautions for the wildest stuff before.
Yeah, we got to go and do our own investigative work and not giving us much of anything. I mean, Chris Rood, you see him hit the wall, but that's really it. So trying to take a peek here is.
I think it was the 308 truck. The 308 truck of Mitchell Dolan. Something happened, I think.
Yeah, Mitchell Dolan on pit road for a little bit of a stay, but not terribly long. That's usually what we can.
I think it may have been something with Dolan.
Oh, there it is. Around he goes. And then back up onto the track, smacks the wall. And that's what brings out the caution. So unfortunate there for Christopher Pendle. As now Pendle, the only truck that stayed out here as well. Minus the... Nope, Gowan just clicked on as going down pit road. So yeah, every single person came down pit road except for Christopher Pendle. That's one of those ones where, you know, you can save it, but sometimes you just lock it down on the apron, let it slide, do its thing, and then, you know, then pick it back up once it's done spinning out. So very, very, very unfortunate there for Christopher Pendle, because, I mean, with everybody pitting or needing to pit soon, that just took the...
That killed a lot of people's momentum, first of all.
I mean, for Pendle, it killed that. But we're going to step aside right quick, get some commercials in, pay the bills, and be right back here with more action here on Sim Racing Media.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Green flag back in the air for race leader Christopher Pendle as he fires off. We're going to have about a 21-lap shootout here. Can he hold them off on old tires, or is he going to get freight trained by everyone that just came down pit road, as he's going to have a handful of trucks right there in his rear view. 50 of Manning all over the back bumper now as he dives down to block the 360 to Mitchell. Going to go three wide. Mitchell down to the inside. Mitchell to the race lead.
There's no way. This is insane racing right here. Mitchell with a crazy move. Whoa, we got Pendle going off into the grass.
Pendle down into the grass. A lane into the 22 of Jeff Schmeier. Looks like Pendle going to be able to keep it going forward.
Well, we got Mitchell and Manning side by side. They're still side by side. Coming to the backstretch side by side.
Mitchell and Manning drag race down the backstretch, down into turns 3 and 4, still side by side, still sniffing the inside there of that 50, but the 50 gonna have the run on the outside.
Oh,
the wiggle, the slide by the 50 gonna make the 30-16 nervous, but still side by side down into turn 1.
What incredible racing here. Look at the 360, the 50, side by side, Mitchell and Manning. They are not giving an inch to each other whatsoever. I have a feeling that Mitchell's going to try and throw this truck deep down to the inside right here in turns 3 and then try to come way back up in turn 4.
I swear, the more that these guys get racy, the more it turns my vocabulary into a caveman, and I just go as they're down side by side, still headed towards turn 1 and 2. And now Jeff Schmeier going to try to give a push there to the 50 to push him forward and race side by side with Mitchell.
Yeah, don't count out TJ Lane. TJ Lane gets very aggressive, so this is perfect setup for him.
Yes,
he's
TJ
like, hey,
Lane
look,
just
everybody's right there, so I'm gonna throw my move in. All it takes is one mistake, and Lane will slide right through.
TJ Lane pushing the issue onto the front of Ray Massey as Ray Massey slides up into the wall. So now 3 wide for the race lead again. Jeff Schmeier dives down to the inside of the 316 of Mitchell. Oh, too many Mitchells here. As Mitchell
that's my cause issues, though.
Gets so close. Jeff Schmeier's shot going to be no avail there, as now TJ Lane is tucked in right behind Mitchell. As he's going to ride that outside line real tight. Each driver in a different lane, just about a half lane of each other. Manning has shown his strength all night long, currently sitting here in the P1 spot, but Mitchell certainly wanting to get this race lead from him, and he has certainly had the race lead a few times tonight, but wants to be there when that white flag and checkered flag flies, as we're coming to 15 to go here, as now a lane all over the back bumper of the 316, gonna stick with him, maybe give him the shove that he needs.
Hey, this is pretty much an all-out sprint, so with that being said, this will definitely show the difference between since they're all tied together, it'll show who's the drivers and who's the racers. So this kind of sprint on this long of a run will show who's who.
Absolutely. Now looking right there in that P4 spot, Dylan Chavis, the guy who's running for the pole challenge, sitting right there as Manning continues to hold the control, but Elaine gonna shut the door, and it's gonna get that 6 a little loose, but the 6 gonna hang tight and give him a shove and then try to go to the outside, but not gonna have the momentum.
You can tell Ray Massey spooked because he keeps trying to do a run. Somebody will do something crazy and he backs off. You can visibly see his truck back off, and then he tries again. But these guys are fighting so hard in front of him, I would be spooked too.
I think a lot of it is also the dirty air. Once you get that dirty air on that nose, it's almost like you're getting hit with a brick to the face and just stopped in your tracks. So you got to try to find that clean air, but still finding where you can carry the speed. Elaine able to pull a little bit on the 6 here, but up front, just a little bit ahead, Jacob Manning and Curtis Mitchell still fighting heavily here, as Mitchell just desperately trying to pull as much as he can there.
He's slipping and sliding. Mitchell is slipping and sliding all up and down this track, literally. He's throwing literally everything out of this truck onto Jacob Manning, like 120% at this rate. Let's look at this onboard from Mitchell's perspective.
Hopping on board here with Curtis Mitchell, as he is right in the tracks of the 50 of Manning, going to shove it down into the corner, try to get as much there, trying to just get as low as possible, maybe even try to get a little air off. His caution going to fly in the air here. So we'll take a peek here.
Oh, it looks like the 20 and the 308 again, all up with the 00. What on earth could have happened?
Mitchell Dahlin and Patrick Craven hopping for incident.
Let's have a look here.
Whoa.
Oh, the 20 just comes all the way up on the 308, and then the 00. Allen is just right there.
Alan Bergen getting collected, but it looked like the 30 or the 20 just thought he had plenty of real estate and was clear, and just threw it way up the track.
Yeah. He thought he had wide open to do a crazy slide job, just did it. And what did I say earlier, Jordan? What did I say earlier? Allen is always in the wrong place at the wrong time for every single one of these events. It's never his fault.
And honestly, to Craven's defense, the problem with throwing it down there on the apron is once you do that transition back onto the racing surface, sometimes it can kind of pull the wheel out of your hand just enough that it starts plowing that front end. And, we'll see here, you can kind of see right there, that little bit of turn to the right as he comes back onto the racing surface. You see that little bit of a turn to the right was just enough to move him up the track and start carrying his momentum upward. And once you start plowing like that, it's really hard to kind of capture that back underneath you unless you just get out of the throttle. But with just about...
I mean, he probably was planning on it. He probably just didn't realize there was another truck right where he was planning to catch it.
So, after all of that excitement and chaos, we find ourselves now here. We're going to be about 8 or so laps to go when we do go back green. If my iRacing math can do it correctly, it'd be 8 or 7 laps. And that's just going to amp this up even more, as now you have the 50 of Manning right there in the front. Mitchell, who has had the 50 covered all night long. And then you have the pole sitter of Chavez right there in 4th, and none other than TJ Elaine right there in the wind as well. And don't forget the guy in 5th, Ray Massey. 3 wins in this series in total, looking for the first one for the chase for the Charity Cup. Which again, getting a win is some serious points towards that championship. So not wanting to give up any kind of, I'm still trying to catch my breath. I'm a little winded.
My heart rate is flying right now, so I get you. I understand. This is really fun. This is really fun.
You get a win, you get 50 points on the nose. He's sitting right now in 5th. That's 10 points right there in front of him, just a couple cars ahead. So, it's gonna be a crazy one here. As we'll take a peek. I didn't take a look at the pace truck and see if the lights were off. They are indeed off. So when we go back racing, we're going to complete lap 142, have 8 laps to the end of this thing. As
your math is spot on.
I tried. I backed off just a little. I was like, maybe it's 7. But
it's Chevy versus Ram.
As we get ready to go back, green flag racing, 8 laps to go. Who's going to prevail through here? It's going to be a big restart, I think. I think it's going to be very key to get away as that pace truck makes that hard left turn. Give control to Manning, and Manning going to floor it as now probably a little bit of a teammate restart there as Elaine going to push the 50 through and get past Mitchell. But now we're going to have to keep our eyes on those front 3, front 4, front 5, whole field at this point, because anything can happen. As now Massey moves himself up side by side with 3rd. As now Schmeier going to dive down, go 3 wide for 3rd place, and find himself by getting just a nose ahead. Not going to be clear, not going to be able to slide up. Might have it now, does have it, and moves himself up to the 3rd spot, fighting with Curtis Mitchell for that spot.
This is a very interesting restart. I honestly did not expect how it's going right now, but as you see, number 22, Jeff Schmeier is on the inside of Curtis Mitchell. I think he's going to be trying to look to slide by him and immediately go for a super chase, trying to chase down TJ Lane and Manning.
Yeah, I mean, as we always say, it's going to get crazier, and I think we're not done here as we have a whole hornet's nest right there behind Massey and Chavez. As now,
turn 4
Massey and Chavez almost get collected there as Jeff Schmeier just right there watching them in his rear. The more they fight, the more he can pull away.
Hey, Massey's not letting Chavis get away.
As Manning is out to almost about a half-second lead over TJ Lane. As we still have this little bit of a hornet's nest. 3 wide, Bogner in the middle, Smith to the outside, 14 of Gowan there to the inside. As they're fighting for every little point.
Truck sideways, he caught it. 29 caught it. The one clipped the 29 and he caught it.
Able to hang on there. Bogner, again, one of those guys that is super fast each week. Found himself in some trouble, unable to get back into the lead lap, but certainly wanting to push this truck as far forward as he can. As we're at 5 laps to go here in this race. Now 4. As Jacob Manning still leading this thing. TJ Lane right now in second, just a little bit off, but here comes Curtis Mitchell to the back bumper of TJ Lane.
4 laps to go, coming to 3 laps to go.
Yeah,
do you think these two might be able to catch Manning?
It's one of those things you don't want to jinx it. Now Bogner down to the inside, Max Cost, or was it Thompson maybe got into the wall just a touch there.
I'm looking on the mini-map, and it doesn't look like they're catching Manning very fast.
Yeah, no, Manning certainly headed on to an island of his own, but Mitchell certainly wanting to grab those extra 2 points by getting around TJ Lane.
Yep.
Ray Massey down to the inside of Chavez, trying to get to that 5th place spot.
Let's
run him up to the wall. And look at this, Max Cost with a load of speed to come up and pass Ray Massey side by side with Massey. It's
trying to. 2 laps to go.
Max Cost with a head full of steam
1.5
trying
now
to take over this top 5. Now, if you look, Bogner's all over the back. Again, laps down, Bogner on the back of Curtis Mitchell, giving Curtis Mitchell a shove.
Dix is right there, right beside Schmeier.
As white flag in the air for this race is Jacob Manning out there in the lead here.
He's in a world of his own.
Absolutely a world of his own.
3 wide, 1 truck is shooting way
down
down.
to the inside. Bogner down to the inside, so not an issue. 3 wide as we go into here. TJ Lane is going to hang on to the P2 for a moment, but out front, Jacob Manning going to come off of turn number 4. Jacob Manning. Whoa, just as that happens, Jacob Manning going to win the race, but Chavez going to get hooked somewhere, somehow, some way. And holy crap, that was a lot. Jacob Manning, though, able to prevail and hang on to the lead. And you know, Jacob Manning isn't in victory lane tonight because of luck. This was earned. It was strategic, planned, and well executed. In iRacing, it's never just about speed. It's consistency, tire management, knowing when to push and when not to. But remember this, you're in a race too. Every single day is another lap, and just like racing, it takes discipline, experience, and strategy to move forward. That's where Vibrance Media comes in. They've built tools designed to help you grow, improve, and thrive in your own journey, your own race. If you want to learn more, visit vibrance.community or connect with Phil Ransom. As Jacob Manning certainly put on a clinic here, but was certainly under fire from Elaine, Mitchell, Massey, you name it, just about everyone tried to put Manning down, but Manning just continued to fight back and finds himself here in victory lane. And I am out of absolute breath as you hear on Chavez, as you see him and Max Cost fighting, and he just goes off the nose of Cost. And what a lot that happened there. I mean, Sam, that was just a chaotic. You see there,
It was
62, and Ray Massey, I think, prevailed and got through to 4th. Yeah, it does.
Where is Chavis on points? Because he didn't cross the finish line until everybody crossed the finish line.
Yeah, he finished in 12th. So after the first race, it's going to be after what he had going, and this being the first race. I mean, it's not going to kill him terribly, but
gonna hurt.
Certainly had a lot bigger of a points finish going into that final, coming out of that final turn, had a lot better of a points finish going there, but unfortunate for him as we get ready to have a conversation trying to find our man of the hour.
I've got 3rd place ready to go for interviews. Cool.
So I'm going to find our race winner. As joining us now is our race leader in Jacob Manning. Jacob Manning, you got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
I mean, what a chaotic finish there. I mean, just for you, it was more of kind of just looking out the windshield and driving, but I mean, behind you, everyone wanted that race lead from you so badly, but you consistently found ways to either block the line or just pure speed, take off. I mean, take me through some of that there, man.
Oh, I first of all, I gotta thank TJ and the guys at Great Lakes Sim. That was incredible. Without the teamwork and all the effort that we put forth, it wouldn't be possible. Those guys gave me everything I needed tonight to go out there and win. And so first of all, I wanted to say that. I felt like I had more speed than those guys. Just, on raw pace, which was really weird for me at Chicagoland. I'm not very good here. I don't have a good track record at all. But I don't know. I felt like if I could get out front and put the dirty air on them, I'd be fine. And then Curtis gave me a run for my money there. So He humbled me very quick, but after that, it was just teamwork between me and TJ, and it was like clockwork. So that was it.
Yeah, that leads me into some of the other questions I had. One, you guys performed a phenomenal restart there on that last restart. You know, having TJ give you the shove all the way through and pull each other through that. But you know, also, you know, that dirty air. I mean, how bad was that? Because from at least a broadcast perspective, it almost looked like as soon as a car, you know, or a truck, you know, tucked in behind somebody, it was almost like you hit a wall, and it was just you lost a ton of speed compared to the guy that was in front of you.
Well, that's pinpoint accurate. That's exactly how it felt behind the wheel. You really had to try and pick a different lane, and the unfortunate thing was that the other lanes weren't quite as quick as running that wide arcing bottom, and it would also take away their air on entry if they wanted to run the top. And so once I was able to get clear of Curtis, that's what I adapted to start doing, just so that I could cut his nose off on entry. And if he wanted to try and get below me, he was going to have to really send it, and I knew it wasn't going to work for him.
Absolutely a phenomenal race here by you there, brother. And before, you know, we cut you loose, is there anyone else you want to shout out, thank, and show some love to before we send you off?
Man, there's too many people that go into this. You know, you guys did an awesome job up there today. You know, thank you guys, of course, for putting in your time to watching us get to do what we love to do. Thank you to Curtis for putting on a good show. Man, this charity thing he's got going is just great, and it's really cool to be a part of something bigger than yourself. It's awesome. The Case Kane Foundation, that's who we're reaching out to today. That's our charity of choice for us at Great Lakes. So we're hoping to send them a pretty big check, hopefully, of winnings. That would be super great, and we want to thank them for everything they do. It's just incredible. And then you know, anybody watching, thank you for watching. You know, we would do it if you weren't there, but we enjoy it when you are. So thank you to all those people. It makes it truly incredible.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your time there, brother, and congrats on the race win.
Thanks, guys.
That your race winner in Jacob Manning. Next up, I believe, Sam, you've got TJ Lane.
Yep. Hey, TJ, it's Sam and Jordan up in the booth. You got us?
Oh, yeah. What's going on, guys?
Hey, really quick, I just want to say you put on a super aggressive race overall. Congratulations on second place finish. Just talk us through what your whole thoughts were throughout the race.
Well, I tell you what, it's kind of like Nashville. You know, we had that strategy where we ran long and tried to make it on that one stop. And if the caution didn't come out, Chris and I both were set up so beautifully to finish 1-2, and that caution came out, and we had to fight to get, you know, on. I changed 2 tires last week and had to fight for it. But this week, I elected to come down pit road early and top off, and so did Chris. But Chris burned up a set of tires, and I did not.
Yeah.
So that's what bit him. Now, if the caution wouldn't have come out, it was going to be, they were going to be in trouble. But the caution come out, but that's just how it goes. But Chris is going to get one. Chris is so fast. He's very, very good at fuel saving. He's really good at tire saving. It's just the strategy that we're working. The only reason why he didn't finish where we finished is because he used a set of tires, and I had that set of tires backed up on me.
Well, very interesting. I actually did not catch that, but I'll definitely keep that in mind for the next race. Tell me about the last 5 laps. 5 laps, I think it was, when the restart happened. The last restart.
The restart, yeah. My car's and hose are 3 wide.
Yeah. You were going crazy out there. Talk me through that. What was going through your head?
Well, I'll put it to you this way: I'm not much of an aggressive driver. I tend to save and save and save, and then Jacob and I were pretty much alike. Our aggression is the same, but Jacob has aggression right off the get-go, and I have my aggression towards the end of the run, you know. And when it was time to go, I had a run on him, and normally, you know, if it's middle of the race, I'm going to stay behind the guys. But, I mean, it had been going green for a long, long, long time, and I kind of – Jacob thought it might have been a wreck fest after those cautions come out, but – man, we were able to get the jump on that last caution, it's the joy of having teammates. You know, you can kind of count it down, and it kind of sucks for Curtis because Curtis a teammate to us. You know, we're a part of Charity Cup Series. We've been a part of it since the beginning.
Yeah.
We sponsor it. He's over racing with us on the official sides. You know, Curtis is an unofficial teammate here. It's just he's got his own team. So we want to see him win and do well too. But on the other side of things, I want to beat Curtis. You know,
Yeah.
we race Curtis almost every night when he's on in the officials, and so seeing us up here running 1, 2, 3 doesn't shock me one bit. But I'm not trying to take anything away from the entire field. The entire field is stellar. I mean, well, how many cautions do we have, guys?
It was,
I believe we had
3.
like 3. Yeah, 3.
Right, and did we break our long green flag run from last week? Did we go longer this week, or did we not? Did we just
that's a Jordan question.
I believe it was. I believe it was just a hair longer. If not, it was just a hair shorter. I have a very bad memory. All I know is that TJ Elaine seems to be the guy that always gets his, what is the strategy thrown out the window at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But like Nashville and tonight, I was able, like I had those tires backing me. Now,
Still
if I
had
would
the
have burned
insurance.
up a set of tires, yeah. If I would have burned up a set of tires, I would have been in Chris's same shoes that Chris was in.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Anyways, is there anybody who'd you like to mention or shout out or thank?
Yeah, so we did the Casey Kane Foundation. Casey Kane has been my favorite driver since the beginning of time. Well, actually, Jeff was, but then when Kane came on board, I was big time Kane fan, still am. So I'm glad that they're going to get some money. The Great Lakes Pole Challenge did not. Dylan didn't win it, so the $25 is going to move to the next race. So the pole challenge next week is going to be $50. They got to qualify on pole and win the race in order to win that money. And then at the end of the season, for some reason, if that money isn't won, every driver that gets a pole will have that, whatever, like, say, for example, I win $25 will go for each pole that whatever driver gets. So the money will go to all the charities. It just depends on if they can cash in on that pole challenge. I want to thank Charity Cup Series, Curtis, and everybody over there. I want to thank all of my guys. I mean, we put in a lot of time working with these guys, and a lot of these guys are really new to our group, and we do everything we can to help them out. That's Jacob, Chris, Critters, brand new. Dylan, we recruited Dylan. You guys, he almost won Michigan and ran out of fuel. So he's fighting himself on that one. And then our good old buddy Tim and then Hunter Cox came and run. I want to thank everybody up at SRM for broadcasting the race, and my friends and family.
Very well. Yeah, so that was your second place finisher, TJ Elaine. Jordan, do you have anything else for him?
I just want to say great run. Once again, finding a way to prevail through a blown strategy, and look forward to seeing what you can do at Iowa, brother.
Oh, thank you. I feel like we're gonna pick up one of these. Jacob got the win tonight, which is a win in my book for our team and everything. So it's a good points night for us, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys at Iowa.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And next up, we're going to pull up Ray Massey, our 4th place finisher. Hey, Ray Massey, it's Jordan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you, Jordan.
Hey, man, what a good run there. He had a fast truck. It just seemed like every now and again you'd get a good run, and then something, you get kind of cut off, not necessarily arrow blocked, but I mean, you just couldn't find the path forward, but certainly had a fast truck here tonight, brother.
Thank you. I didn't get a whole lot of practice, so I was learning a lot through the race, and the truck raced a whole lot different when I got in the top 5. So that was the adjustment I was trying to figure out there towards the end. And I finally learned not to be on the bottom, but it was too late. So I know next time, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, you came in here, you had 3 wins in a row before the All-Star. We weren't necessarily counting the All-Star as consecutive with just the Charity Cup, but, you come in here and after the All-Star race, you have another 4th place finish. I think you've got to be averaging like 3.5 on finishes here in the Charity Cup Series. With having such good consistency, how does that make you feel, going forward into the next, 3 races as you look to get into the chase for the Cup, playoffs, and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm probably going to miss a race or two, just because of personal stuff with the family. So I just want to, perform the best I can when I'm here and bank enough points to help my team see how we end up in the Cup Series for the championship.
Well, certainly, always always one of the interesting drivers and exciting drivers to watch as we put on more and more of these races and now get the series running and the points and everything. So always going to be fun to watch you go out there and make these runs. But with all of that being said, come home fourth tonight. And is there anyone that you want to shout out and thank for that performance tonight, brother?
Yeah, I appreciate my teammates, Chris and Max. We had a lot of fun. They gave me some hints because they were able to practice a little more than I did. And shout out to Walking and Rolling Costumes. We do all this for them to raise funds for them, building costumes for children in wheelchairs, walkers, free of charge to the families. So we like to raise as much money as we can. So run up front, put on a good show for the broadcast, and try and do it each opportunity.
All right, brother. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us for a little bit, and catch you on the next one, man.
All right. Thank you, Jordan.
And then next, we're going to bring up Curtis Mitchell. Curtis Mitchell, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. Just want to give a little talk here. I know you got some extra awards to give out. Also want to talk about that third place finish you had there, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, why don't we do this? Because I got a lot to talk about, and I know Jeff is waiting. Why don't we talk to Jeff real quick? Because he's in the waiting room, and then I'll meet back with you guys here after he's done, and we'll do the little award ceremony.
All right, sounds good to you, or good to me, brother.
Sweet. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit.
So actually, it's going to bring up Jeff Schmeier. Jeff, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, I believe Sam, you want to take over?
Sure. Hey, Jeff. So, finished fifth. You want to talk us through how your race went?
Yeah, it went all right. It was a pretty crazy race. We had a lot of racing at the beginning, and then we finally was able to fan out a little bit. I was keeping my tires until the end of the race, and unfortunately the cautions kind of fell in a place where we couldn't really capitalize on that. But at the end, I kind of got pushed in the wall, so I had some damage. So I was trying to do defense to get that fifth place, and I just barely got it at the end there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I gotta ask, were you trying to aim for more of like, I guess, a long run, high finish, or were you trying to capitalize on that last caution, or what everybody was hoping would be the last caution?
Oh yeah, I always try to go for the long run usually, just because you never know when you're gonna need that last set of tires, and if you can beat everyone on tires, you usually got a good shot of winning. But yeah, it was a great. We had some great long runs, so it was a lot of fun tonight.
That's awesome. So yeah, is there anybody who you'd like to mention or thank?
Yeah, of course. I got to mention Curtis for putting on this league. This has been a really fun league so far. And then Bill over at And Alzheimer's. I'm happy to get a little bit more money for his organization. And then, of course, I got to thank my mom and dad and my wife Beth and my sister Kathy. They all watched the race. I just want to say I love you all.
No, thank you, Jeff. Hey, Jordan, you got anything else for him?
I think it hits everything on the head. I know, Jeff, you've been a fast truck each and every week. Some good luck here, good bad luck there, but found yourself through into the fifth place, and it's a good run for you, man. And really look forward to you for the rest of this series, man. It's going to be a fun experience for everyone involved.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Thank you guys for putting this on.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, brother, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
All right, and now bringing back up Curtis Mitchell. Curtis, you got a copy again?
There we are. Hello.
There we go. Well, I mean, first, before we get into all those words, I mean, take me through that third place finish. You had a fast truck. You were all over the back bumper of, Manning there towards right before that last caution. I mean, you had him covered, but it just seemed like that truck just did not want to give you that extra little bit. It's almost like you needed like an extra 1 or 2% for that pedal to go forward through the floorboard to get just enough power to get up and by that 50 truck.
Yeah, apparently my iRacing cheats didn't work tonight, so that's unfortunate. No, Jacob is one of the best sim racers I've been on here. I mean, all of these guys, I came across so many good guys. TJ's insane, Ray Massey, Jeff Schmeier, all these guys just put up such good numbers. But something about Jacob, and TJ will tell you it too, he is so stinking fast. So we were we're running hard, running clean. I needed a caution desperately because Chris and TJ were on a different strategy. And once we got that caution on lap 130, I was like, all right, it's over. We're in. We're good. And we're running with Jacob, trying to stay behind him, and that second caution killed me because TJ being in third, they sequenced their restart, and I was left to dry like a dirty towel. And so by the end of that, I really didn't have a chance. But if we stayed green, I think there's a chance I could have put something up with Jacob. But when Jeff Schmeier caught us and took us 3 wide, that was kind of the seal that I knew, okay, I'm probably not going to win this one, but I got to at least salvage the top 5 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I was kind of looking at everything before that caution with 30 to go. And what was kind of going through your mind as you're riding around here and you see Christopher Pendle with the lead that he had and was able to be out as far as he was. I mean, take me through a little bit of like the emotions that were going through your head as you're trying to keep running your race, but at the same time you're just like, I need something.
Yeah, so we went into pit lap 91. So went in, got fresh tires, started cruising. By the time we hit lap 100 into like lap 110, that's where I knew, all right, Chris is going to have to go in because he's, on a different fuel strategy, and he'll make it on fuel. So he was going to win the race if we went green the whole way. And once he went in, then I was like, okay, Lord, I need a caution. And so we ran a couple laps, and then finally, once we hit that 130 mark and Mitchell went around, that's when I knew that we were in a good spot. Chris didn't have tires left, so he had to stay out on old tires. But TJ had a set, so it was going to be a dogfight for that top 5. But just really thankful. That was the cleanest race we've had on here. That was the most fun I've had. I know my full blast guys didn't have the best race. I know Brian got screwed over early, and then Brenton and Patrick had some issues. But all in all, I think it was a successful night. Got some awesome charity donations ahead that I'm excited to share with y'all. So it was great.
Absolutely, and of course, get anyone that you need to shout out as well as those awards. You're free to have the space for it, brother.
Well, as always, huge thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for everything He's done, for just the growth and provisions over this league and the people that I've come across, and just the discipleship and ministry opportunity to share Christ through something like iRacing has just been a dream that I didn't even know I had. So that is, if I had to say anything and one thing, that would be it. But huge thank you to my family for watching, my grandparents and family in Michigan, all my buddies from my legacy group, and Mr. Staver, my crew chief, for watching. This has been fun to have some people to back it up, and then all the charities we're running for, which I'll mention here in a bit. So if you're cool, I'll just jump right in.
Absolutely, brother.
Overall, for the top 5, giving away $240 to charity. So first place, that's going to be Jacob Manning, $72 headed over to the Casey Kane Foundation. Second place, TJ Lane, another $48 to Casey Kane. My 44 will be going to the Project Hope Foundation. That is Patrick Craven's charity. And so we're going to be rotating charities as a team throughout the year, which I think is what everyone else is going to do. But really awesome organization there. And then we got fourth place, Ray Massey. That's going to be a $40 donation to Walk In and Roll in Costumes, which has gotten by far the most donations so far this year. And then rounding it off for End Alzheimer's Motorsports, $36 headed to their organization for Jeff Schmeier's top 5. And then the 3 awards, we got the Langer's Auto Spa Cleanest Driver. Shocker, that was Ray Massey. Fourth place, 0 incident points. I could have had it, but I got doored by Jacob when we were side by side in game 4X. So we're gonna give that one to Walking and Rolling. He's also, shocker here. We had a new sponsor jump on board. My buddy Jeffrey Miller and his organization Beauty and the Barber, the fastest lap award. Another $25 headed to Walking and Rolling for Ray Massey's fastest lap. What did he run here? I think it was a 30.987, something just ridiculously fast. And then the last one is the Lisbon Creek Ladder Climber Award, headed to what I think is the most encouraging and best finish I've seen on here for John Gowan. $25 headed to Tunnel to Towers. Big comeback for him. He was on a different fuel strategy than everybody and just made it through on that last restart. So glad he was able to run it with his buddy Mitchell in Leftovers Motorsports. So really awesome night overall. We're going to have $315 headed to charity. Puts us almost at $3,500 already in 2026. Can you believe that? Almost $3,500 just from guys driving left on their computer. It's so cool. All glory to God for that one.
Absolutely. It's super inspirational, and it means a lot just to be a part of something like that. So I want to thank you for having us on board as well for that. I can't thank you enough. As well as just, I mean, the racing in total is just entertaining to watch each and every time we do this. So it's a ton of fun, and to be able to raise funds while doing so, it's a great thing to be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys for the broadcast. Ton of fun having the opportunity for people to watch, and you guys put on a good show. So thank you as always.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at Iowa.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see you at Iowa. Thanks, guys.
Well, that is going to get close to wrapping this thing up here tonight. Phenomenal race here as we get ready to run down this finishing order. But I mean, Sam, give me some thoughts there, brother.
Well, I mean, like I like to harp on, and my favorite part about sim racing is race strategy because a lot of other racing simulations outside of iRacing, strategy is not really something that's harped on for oval racing, but I feel like with iRacing, you can really focus on race strategy more. So I absolutely love tracks like this. You can really appreciate uh the racing aspect of it, as far as strategy goes and tires and fuel and all that fun stuff. And then, the fact that Curtis Mitchell is putting on, this charity cup series, I think it's amazing. I think what he's doing is absolutely awesome. And every time I get to come on here, it's honestly a privilege in my eyes to be able to commentate for this alongside you and whoever else is on. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Absolutely. A fun race, an exciting one. I had a little bit of everything: fuel strategy, tire savings, and a little drizzle of chaos there towards the end. But none other than Jacob Manning comes away with the race win, followed right behind in teammate of TJ Elaine, and Curtis Mitchell going to come third, rounding out that podium finish. Ray Massey going to finish in fourth, and Jeff Schmeier going to round out the top five. Max Cost finds himself in sixth, with Adam Thompson up in seventh. John Gowan, Jason Palmer, and Zachary Smith all with really good runs to finish in 8th, 9th, and 10th. Christopher Pendle had the strategy, had that caution not come out, finds himself finishing here in 11th. Our pole sitter, Dylan Chavez, going to finish in 12th, followed by Tim Ruark in 13th, with Brenton Barker in 14th, Brian Bogner in 15th, John D. Miles and Chris Rue going to come 16th and 17th, with Ricky Miles, Patrick Craven coming in 18th and 19th. Mitchell Dowling going to round out the top 20. Our very own Alan Bergen going to finish in 21st, followed by Justin Crittenden and Hunter Cox going to round out that final two spots here on the field. 23 drivers and a phenomenal race throughout. And with all of that being said, I want to thank everyone that tuned in. And as you walk the streets of life, please do not play in traffic. Thank you.